Up in just a minute. Trey Songz is in your ear with his throwback. The neighbors know my name. They should know your name. They're your neighbors. Meek Mill is also getting dangerous, and if you got something you want to hear, hit me up on Instagram at IAMTEEROY. Now remember, I'm counting down to March 14th. It's all about the 2019 iHeartRadio Music Awards. Your votes are needed, people. This is the only award show where you pick the winner. So log on to iHeartRadio.com/awards and vote, vote, vote!
Grinding, grinding, grinding. I'ma keep grinding. Climbing, climbing, climbing. I'ma keep climbing. Rising, rising, rising. I'ma keep rising. Born to shine. Born to shine. Grinding, grinding, grinding. Even though I'm down, I made it now. Climbing, climbing, climbing. I'm a queen, I hold the crown. Flying, flying, flying. Living my dreams and holding it down. Born to shine. After everything that I've been through, said I could do it again, true. Putting in work each and every day. Now I'm a boss and I'm running things. Ain't come to play, I come to slay. Started from the bottom, now I'm changing the game. I'ma keep rising with a brand new day. And now it's born to shine, shine.
I'm syndicated on 140 radio stations nationwide. So, you know, for me, that's a big deal.
That's a big
good
deal.
thing. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. But, you know, like for me, I didn't go to college. I didn't go to school for this. I'm actually a contest winner who won a trip on my 21st birthday. So, you know, I won a trip and somebody seen my goofiness and gave me an opportunity, and basically that's how I got started.
Really?
Yeah, like, I mean, I got started.
You called like, I want to win that contest.
Well, no, actually, we went to an album release party for Jay-Z and Tribe Called Quest. They both albums came out at the same time. Okay. So me and my homeboy went to the album release party at CD Warehouse. Because remember, back in the day, everything was on CDs.
Right.
So, like, we went to a CD release party. We were waiting at midnight when you could get the album. So while we're waiting, the radio station was there, and they had those register to win boxes. Okay. They had a register to win box for this thing called Jam Splash, which was a big thing in Bahamas. And so we registered to win, and I ended up, we were waiting so long. You know how you just wait and you sitting there filling out the pieces of paper and doing all that stuff. Well, we were waiting so long, I filled out probably 150 slips or something like that and put them in the box.
He secured his bag.
And ended up getting a call the 2 weeks before my 21st birthday.
Nice.
My 21st birthday, they told me I won this trip to Jam Splash. Tatiana Ali was there. Missy Elliott was there. Big Pun was there. Fat Joe was there. Cameron was there. Mace was there. 69 Boys, 95 South were all there. And during that time, my radio station was broadcasting the morning show. Ended up interviewing all these artists, and I was a part of the show. They were like, yeah, this is our grand prize winner, but I love hip hop just like everybody else. So I was like, yo, Big Pun. I'm like, oh, I get Little Italy. Like, I get to talk to Big Pun, and I get to talk to Fat Joe. And during the course of the interview, I'm asking them questions. And this man, Doc Winter, is watching me.
Okay.
Watching us just do the broadcast. Comes over and is like, yo, dude, you mad funny. Like, you mad funny. You are funny. Like, you ever did radio before? I was like, nah, man, never did that. But I did TV production when I was in school. Okay. So, like, my personality's already been developing. Okay. So he was like, yo, here's my card. Call me when we get back to Jacksonville. And I called him.
Right away.
And I called him on a Wednesday. We got back on a Monday, Tuesday. I called him on a Wednesday. He just asked me if I would come to the radio station, and he wanted to show me some stuff. And I was like, yo, I got a few days off. Why not? So I went to the radio station. I sat in on a Wednesday with all the DJs who were on. The next day I came back, did the same thing again. They were showing me how to manipulate and run the board. I came back the next day on a Friday. He pulled me in. He was like, yo, we need somebody to fill in tomorrow from 8 to 12. Are you able to do it?
Yes, sir.
And I was like, yeah, why not? So I came in the next day on Saturday morning. The DJ who was on relieved. I came in, he was here, he left, and I was in the studio by myself. And then he called me, he was like, all right, man, it's all you. You know what to do, right? Just do you. And that's what I did. And I just stayed doing me. And I've stayed doing me. 3 hours went to 6 hours. 6 hours went to 9 hours. 9 hours went to overnights. A year and a half later, next thing I know, they're putting me on afternoons. And I ended up taking the spot of the afternoon jock at that time. They promoted him to production, and I took over his spot. And I have been on the radio ever since for 20 years October.
20 years?
Yeah, I've been on radio 20 years this October.
Wow.
So, like, you know, I always tell people I don't have a college degree. I didn't go to school for this. I wasn't taken under nobody's wing. Nobody was showing me or giving me a blueprint on how to be a radio DJ.
You just came in and learned.
I came in and did my own thing.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what, like, you know, like you were saying, resilient.
Resilient.
Yeah, resilient. I've been doing my own thing for 20 years, and in 20 years I've excelled myself so well that I've ended up getting an Emmy Award with the Jacksonville Jaguars for making a documentary to help kids on sex education. I ended up becoming one of the voice and talents for Mayweather Promotions. I've been doing his boxing matches where I go there and commentate for Showtime and HBO. I've been doing that for 8 years. I've been syndicated in Philadelphia for 13, 14 years straight.
Nice.
You know, I'm in Miami now, so this is probably my 5th year. I just got Tampa. You know, like my TeeRoy's growth has been continuous, and I just keep being one of the big. I've been to every BET Music Awards since they started, except for one. So I've been to 18 years of BET.
But now when I come and turn on 93.3, I specifically remember last August when I came on here, I was like, oh, it felt like Hot 97, 105. So I wanted to talk about the evolution of 93.3 since you've been here, and how much control did you partake in getting the radio up to speed to where it is now?
Well, it's not even about the radio getting up to speed. It's about the companies you're working for.
Okay.
Like when I first came on, it was a mom and pop company, which was J-Core.
Okay.
And then it got taken over by Clear Channel. And then it became iHeart Media, which is one of the biggest platforms ever. So you got to remember, you got Power 106, you got the Breakfast Club in New York. Like, there was more outlets for iHeart Media and iHeart Radio. They have taken over the game.
Yeah.
They dominate the game. They are the trendsetters of the game right now. Mm-hmm. And to be a part of that is awesome, because, you know, they're the ones that put me in my platform where I'm at, of putting the best DJs in markets you would never think. Like, they were the first ones to sign me for a syndication. I never was thinking I would be syndicated. I never thought that I would be able to branch out and go to different markets.
You were reaching out for. They reached out to you for that.
I was never ever trying to be something on the radio. I was just happy coming in here and doing my 4 or 5 hours and going home
and getting paid for it.
You know, other people started noticing the talents and listening to my show, and then they would be like, yo, we need to put you here. We want to put you here. We want to put you here because you don't sound like anybody else. You have a distinct voice. And you're funny.
Right.
So that's what made me take over a lot of markets that are existing, because a lot of people will be like, oh man, you don't sound like you, like, I might be from Jacksonville, but I don't sound like I'm from Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. You know, I was born up in Philadelphia, but you wouldn't know that unless I tell you.
Right.
You know, and that's what I tell people. It ain't about where you from, it ain't about where you at. It's can people relate to you.
Because I know up north,
or independent artists. How about that?
Okay, independent artists, unsigned artists, aspiring artists, up and coming artists, whatever you want to label yourself. The ones that are not mainstream signed all over the radio yet, that are looking to try to get onto the radio. How do you feel on that, and what's your take on that?
Me personally, I always tell independent artists, like, I did an open mic for 5 years, okay? And just because I DJ and I'm in the club, and I had, like, and I used to tell people, man, you know, if you really want it, you got to get out here and work for it. If you still giving out CDs, you behind the times, okay? And most cars don't even come with CDs. Like, if somebody give me a CD, I literally look at them and say, no, dude, bring me a junk drive. Right. I drive a 2018. There's no CD player in it. Mm-hmm. It's a USB port.
Right.
But a lot of people don't understand that. But, like, I always tell people, I'm not knocking anybody, but I will tell you the steps to getting your music heard and getting your music out there. I mean, if you want to get your music heard, where should you be going? First, you go to strip clubs. That's where you go. Go talk to strip club DJs. Go talk to the strippers. Get the strippers to dance. They can pick what they want to dance to. If you paying them, they'll dance to your song.
Keyword, you gotta come out your pocket.
You gotta have some money. You gotta have money. You gotta have money, because ain't nobody just gonna sit here and jump on your bandwagon for free. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I've been on the radio for 20 years. I've seen artists come. I've seen artists go. I've seen artists come back. And all that stuff, then your mindset is messed up. Because you know what? I'd rather have all the money and then be able to do that later.
Right.
Then
It'll always be there.
Yeah. Then I'm working to get in that. So it's like, now I'm comfortable. I mean, I've been on the radio 20 years, so it's like, I've seen a lot, witnessed a lot, experienced a lot.
I know you have endorsements, right?
Yeah. I'm endorsed by Toyota. I'm endorsed by Comcast. I'm endorsed by McDonald's. Back, we had the McDonald's today.
Shout out to Mickey D's.
Yeah, shout out to Mickey D's. Yeah, we were oh man, I got a lot of endorsements, but that's the best thing.
Right. And now, as far as these endorsements, did they reach out to you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, most of the endorsements, I've been #1 in my time slot in Philadelphia, #1. I've been #1 in Miami. I'm #1 in Jacksonville, and they want the best. Like, before people were becoming influencers, the radio station, we're the influencers. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't I rather talk to a DJ who has 100,000 people or 1 million people listening every day? I got 1 million people listening every day. Mm-hmm. That's what they want. Because right. I'm talking about it, they're going to do it.
Right.
If you say it, people are going to do it. Because if it wasn't of importance, they wouldn't do it if you didn't say it.
20 years on the radio. Obviously, 5 consistent years in the source. This is a big deal, right? So, how do you stay humble and grounded?
Me personally, humble and grounded. I learned a long time ago how to get humbled, and it actually happened 1/30/2002 is the date that I became very humbled. I was in a car accident where my truck flipped 5 times into a ditch. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and my body was in shock. It was in shock to the point where I was unable to move.
Wow,
I was unable to walk. I was unable to scratch my ass. I was unable to pee by myself. I was slapped up in a hospital bed for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and I literally cried and said to myself, this can't be the end. And before that time, I was more like, man, I'm TeeRoy, you know who I am, blah, 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 because I was making money hand over fist. I'm in the club every night. I got all the hoes. I'm wilding. I'm doing my thing. But when I got in my car accident, I think that was God's message of telling me it's time to stop thinking like you thinking and realize, where would you be if I took all this away? And those 2.5 weeks of sitting in a hospital and listening to doctors saying they don't know what's wrong. They've done studies on your spine. They have ran you through the machines. They're doing everything in their power to find out why your body is not receptive to any feeling or moving. And I'm just laying there, like, literally tears running down. I can't even wipe the tears from my face.
Wow.
And my mom and my dad and them are like, oh my God, Troy, you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. And I swear to God, it was like, my body started just coming around. I started feeling my hands. I started feeling my feet. And I told myself, once I started going to therapy and not even walking again, and just like, my body was such in a shock, I just felt like I had to reset my body. But after that, that was when I humbled myself. So I dumbed down everything. And I just said, I have to change a lot of things in my life because I could lose all this at any time. And why would I want to lose this or lose anything that I'm working for that I enjoy doing? Because there's nothing in life that I enjoy more behind sitting behind a mic, having the freedom to speak my mind, be funny, clown, enjoy what I do, compared to sitting in a cubicle or working for some boss, working 9 to 5. I've been there, done that. So it's like, I just after my accident really, I still have my truck on my refrigerator and how messed up it is. Like, literally, I never wear a seatbelt, and I hated telling people this. I never wore a seatbelt. I wore a seatbelt that day. Like, it literally could have thrown me out the vehicle. I would have been dead. And that's what they said, even in the doctor's office and all that. So that's when, after January 30th, 2002, I realized that TeeRoy's his life was something more. And that's when I started taking things more seriously, and I started realizing that, hey man, you can't be an asshole. You can't be this. You can't walk around like your shit don't stink. You can't do stuff like that. And I was like, that's when I changed my thinking, and I started changing stuff around me. You know, and it's not even about being humble. It's about saying to yourself that, hey man, you know what? This is a blessing. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is a true blessing, and I'm truly happy that I'm able to do something. And this is what I love doing. So it's like, you know, just to be able to do it for 20 years and could have had it all changed. Right. You know what I'm saying? It could have all changed. And that was the turning point of my life that made me realize that I had more of a purpose.
I wanted to know what your personal opinion is on the state of the culture right now. The music that's out, the artists that is being put out. What is your opinion?
What is my opinion about the state of the culture? I mean, the state of the culture is still in the cusp of they don't know. You know, like, I laugh because I think this is what, and I say this not to be offensive to anybody, but if you look at most of these artists that are coming out, or like certain ones, and they're the spawns of Lil Wayne. The tattoos on the face, the sipping, the lean, and doing all this. They're the spawns of Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne did it. Mm-hmm. Now that's what you copying everything Lil Wayne did. That's what all these this generation of people who coming up, they are copying Lil Wayne.
Right.
You know, putting the grills back in the teeth, the diamonds, talking about this. You go back. That's Lil Wayne. Mm-hmm. Everything you doing is Lil Wayne.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Where the state of hip hop is. Hey man, it's changing all the time. It changes every 5 years. Mm-hmm. Every 5 years it goes to a different type of subject matter, or it goes to a different type of mood. Mm-hmm. And the mood that it's in now, it's still in the, okay, we're tired of hearing the BS. Can we start hearing the content? Mm-hmm. You know, we want to hear that again. So you're hearing that with the J. Cole, like Middle Child. That's my joint.
Right. I think right now we are going into the next phase.
The next phase. It's the next phase of. It's the next phase.
Like they say, well, not they say. It's a fact that we grew up listening to, not to promote drug dealing or anything, but we listened to music from drug dealers.
No, back in the day, we were telling you how to sell drugs.
How to sell drugs.
Now we're listening to the drug addicts.
Drugs.
Yeah, we're listening to the drug addicts.
Right.
And that's what I say. I don't want to listen to you talk about getting high and doing drugs, because 9 times out of 10, and I say this, out of all these artists I interviewed, you can tell that the drugs have whooped their ass.
Right.
Like they have literally made them stupid.
Right.
And like you can't even hold a
intellectual conversation.
No, just not even an intellectual conversation. A conversation without not losing your train of thought or not knowing what you're talking about. Like, and it's sad because I've sat here and looked at artists and been like, damn, it's that bad? Like, and you know, but it just goes to show. It's just like back in the day, we were telling you how to sell it and how to get money off of selling drugs. Y'all are telling us what you doing and how much you drinking and how much you smoking. You're showing us the effects of drugs. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference of this. I think this state of hip hop now, and most of the people who are trying to change that are showing you now, like, dude, there's other outlets to be. And if you look, rap is not what it used to be anymore. It's a business. People are becoming bosses. People are becoming entrepreneurs. People are pushing more than just music. They're just using that as the pedestal to bring it in. Prime example, Ludacris would be the best example. Mm-hmm. You know, Ludacris hasn't put out music since he started. He put out music, but he wasn't going hard as he was when he first started. Because after he started doing the movies and all that, I don't need that. It was like, it's the pedestal. Like, it's the pedestal. Like, that's why you have your Rick Rosses buying Wingstops and Checkers and creating businesses and doing all that stuff, because it's more than just music. And that's the problem with, I think, a lot of people. They're not business minded. They don't understand this is a business. They just want the cars, clothes, and hoes. And at the end of the day, dude, that's going to be there. They're not going nowhere. Straight up.
They're always going to be there.
They're always going to be there. It's just what do you...
What's next after that?
What's next? What do you want your music to be known for? Because there's a lot of one-hit wonders. A lot of people, when they first get on, they're telling you what they did to get on. And after they get the money, they don't have no more content to talk about.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about it. Like, let's use Notorious B.I.G. as a prime example. when Ready to Die came out, you was like, oh shit, that's the hustle, that's the grind, the everyday struggle, all that. Life After Death came out, sky's the limit, My Downfall, all that stuff. He was telling you his transition happened. You know, when 1994, 1996, 97. You know, his transition happened. Now, if Biggie was still alive right now, he would be one of the dominant voices in the game.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? He would be one of the dominant, because he was showing you what it was like before the money, and I'm showing you like what it's like after, when I got the money.
It was all a dream.
Yeah, now I got the money.
Now I'm worried about
it. Yeah, now I got the money. Now what is it after that? And a lot of people haven't been able to show you or make their music be that substantial where it catapults to the next thing. That's why you look at Drake and you say, damn, Drake's hustle is probably one of the best ones to emulate, because he's still relevant. He's still putting out an album every year. He got 10 albums out, just re-released his first mixtape, and it still sounds good. And you're like, damn, like, if you look at do some research, man. Like, for real. Like, you can't beat Source Magazine. This used to be the Bible, and still is the Bible for hip hop.
I was gonna say it still is.
You know, it's like this solidified if you was the shit or not. Like, you looked in the back. You used to be in here looking in the back for the 5 mics. Don't act like you weren't looking for the 5 mics. You were back in here like, yo, where's the 5 mics? With the 5 mics. So that's what I tell people now. Like, somebody was like, man, Source Magazine, yeah, you in the Power 30 Source Magazine. I said, yo, dude, but I've been in this Power 30 consistently for the last 5 years. Like, for the last 5 years, I've never fallen past 20 on top 30 DJs. And that in itself is an achievement that nobody can ever take away. But that's the same thing I used to tell people. Like, you ain't got the major outlets talking about you, or you ain't buzzing. You need to get a better publicist, or you need to find a different way to make your situation pop. Because there's too many outlets in this day and era out there for you to just be sitting around playing. Right. And I think that's what a lot of people do. They just play. They're not really applying themselves the way they should, or just getting around people to make sure they apply themselves in a better way. That's the biggest thing. That's what I think. That's just my opinion. These are my opinions and my thoughts, because I'm just talking from 20 years of sitting behind this microphone.
That's right.
I'm not talking from 20 years of watching somebody else talk.
It's more than just the educated guess.
Yeah, this is like, I've interviewed Barack Obama. I've interviewed Michelle Obama. I've interviewed Michael Jackson. I've interviewed Rick James. I've interviewed a lot of artists and met them and kicked it with them and chilled with them. And I've met some of the biggest names, and I've asked them the questions I always wanted the answers to, and I got them. And that's what I've learned. I've learned from watching what everybody's telling me and listening. And that's what I try to tell people now. Even when I meet local artists, I'm trying to tell them the same thing. Let me give you some things that you ain't doing. And it's funny when I tell them they're not doing that. Are you talking to the DJs in the strip club or DJs in the club? Do you get there before they start their set? Not when they're DJing. Go get them before their set. And you got DM, you got Instagram. Hey, man, just hit them up. You ain't got to do too much for a DJ. All you have to do is say, hey, bro, let me take you out to lunch. Let me buy you a meal. Let me just swing by the studio, drop you off a bottle of Hennessy and my CD, listen to it, give me a call back. That's how simple I am. I'm more like, okay, dude, if you can take time just to say, hey, man, what do you drink? Hennessy? Okay, cool. Let me drop you off a bottle. Let me take you out. Let's just go sit down and talk. Right. Like, most people just feel like you have to do something because you work in radio. No, dude, I ain't got to do nothing but be black and die. Right. This is still a job. I can leave and go home. I don't have to sit here and worry about it. But a lot of people don't take that into consideration and realizing, like, hey, man, this is somebody I need on my team. And if you want somebody on your team, you got to recruit them just like they got to recruit you. Right. And that's it. You want somebody on your team, dog. Loyalty. Yo. Loyalty is everything, but you know, we live in a serious generation where a lot of people are not loyal to anything. So you know, if it doesn't go their way, you with this Nick, you this, they always want to shoot you down, and you be like, okay, well, dog, why would I bother helping you? Especially, why would I help you if I see how you doing somebody else? Exactly. Or why would I help you if I see how snakish or radish you're moving? You know what I'm saying? That makes me be like, you know what? I always think in the back of my mind, what would they do to me if that was me? Exactly. And that makes me be like, never mind. So, you know, it's certain things. And people, like I tell people, it's the way you carry yourself. If you carry yourself like it's a business and this is your company and this is your product, you got to stand behind it. You got to make sure it's beneficial for not just you, but for everybody who becomes a part of your project.
Right.
A lot of artists come to my club nights or wherever I'm at. I don't care if we don't talk every day, but if I respect you and we already had this conversation, and you at least emailing me or texting me like, hey man, can you please check this new single out or whatever. If I already have that relationship with you, then I want to see you win. I don't want to see you lose. I want to see you win.
Right. Thank you to Ricky B. Make sure y'all tuned in to BARTV, Brilliant and Resilient Television, and we have so much more coming up next month. Thank you.
Oh, and don't forget, get that Source magazine. It's out right now. It's out right now. Get you a copy. Get a piece of my history. Please get a piece of my history. That's what
Give them your social sites one more time.
IAMTEEROY on Instagram. That's it. That's all you need. I'm on Instagram. If you want to reach out, I'm on Instagram. That's it. That's all I can tell you. IAMTEEROY. Holla at your boy.
Oh yeah. Duval.